Hey everyone, I'm Ross Chastain, and welcome to episode 17 of Ag to Asphalt, presented by LEVRACK and powered by Ag America Media. Remember that full-length episodes can be found on the Like a Farmer YouTube page or wherever you listen to your audio podcasts. Today, we'll look back at our races at Bristol and New Hampshire. Then we'll go up and visit with Mike Catlin of Smith's Country Cheese in Winchendon, Mass., and learn the inner workings of a dairy farm. Maybe he'll even let me milk a cow or two. I'll answer some of your Ask Ross Anything questions. Then we'll look ahead to Kansas. But first, let's jump into the Smashdown presented by LEVRACK. We're here in the studio at the farm, back from New Hampshire with producer Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. Have you recovered from our trip to Buffalo?
Yeah, I was probably needed until like Sunday. Sunday morning, it was when I was back to like 100%. So I don't know how you do it with some of these midweek journeys that you do before race weekends. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So
that was it was a whirlwind. We jumped on a plane Wednesday night going into New Hampshire, filmed Thursday morning, saw Mike Catlin and the dairy farm, and then took off to Buffalo that night for a Thursday night football game. That was awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
It was.
We'll get into it.
We will. But first, we should touch on Bristol. 13th to 19th. Did what we had to do. It was a cutoff race for the first round, so we knew that we just needed to finish. And with the tire shredding, I mean, their tires were just unraveling again. We made it a couple of laps into the race before anybody realized what was happening. For me, it was, I got tight and I looked up and I saw the 16 was coming back. So it was like lap 15-ish of 500 when I realized it. I don't know when, you remember when you saw it happening?
I wasn't there, so I can't speak on it.
Come on, man. I was putting you on the spot. You don't know a specific lap number. I want you tuned in when you're not at the track.
I don't even remember what I was doing. No, I did see, I remember you talking about it on, you went to go in and you turned real left and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then
that happens a lot. But
at that point, was there a lot of rubber buildup on the outside, or was it once everything started shredding, you could see it?
It was already building up, but I hadn't noticed it yet. I was just focused on like wrapping the bottom. I was in front of the 20 car, funny enough, and was just trying to like maintain the position. We were maybe like 11th-ish, 12th, somewhere right in there. Like basically where we had started the race, I maybe passed one car, and then we all just slotted in the bottom and was just plugging along. And I thought, we're going to run 115 laps in a row here and just try to stay in line and not give up any. And then I got tight and I saw the 16. So that was chaotic. I'd say that we talked more on the radio in that race than like 4 other races combined.
Was there anything you learned from the last race that shredded the tires like that you could apply, or was it just, like you said, just going off of what your car was giving you at the time?
Yeah, it was more the balance of the car and I wanted to free it up more and like keep taking wedge out and like I thought the fronts were the limiting factor, but they would take the tires off and the right rear had more rubber gone. And they were like, the only way they could measure it was in pounds. Like they would weigh the tire before they'd put it on, and then they'd take it off the car and it had like less pounds of rubber on it. It wasn't like a depth in the pinhole that they would measure. So those were gone. So they would just try to weigh the tire and educated guess of like how much did that one wear versus the last one versus the next one. So no, because the first race, it was such an unknown that I remember like Josh Berry would just go fast, blow it. He would cord his right rear, spin out, caution would come out, and he'd get the pit. He'd like gain 10, say he would gain 10 spots and then only lose 3. And the first time this happened, this time I feel like everybody was a lot smarter. Appreciate your part-time effort though and not being there.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Part-time people, they act like they have a tough life. Then New Hampshire. So our week started early, taking off Wednesday, going up there to film some of these Ag to Asphalts. So Mike's episode that we're showing today was in that trip. That was a cool trip just to get up, flying to Boston. You did get us lost coming out of the city.
On the way there, and then when we landed back from Buffalo, you got us lost for a little bit.
Same exit.
Yeah, it was the same.
I missed the same turn, like the same split in the interstate. I missed it. We were in the same little traffic
You think roads can't get more complicated, and then you get up to Boston and you're like, oh, it's like GPS is telling you to go straight, but there's 3 different ways you can go straight, and then one kind of curves, one doesn't. And it was a rough go.
Well, straight wasn't straight. Straight was actually to the right.
Yeah.
It was to the right.
Yeah.
Straight was actually an exit, and we'd missed the same sign. So
yeah. And then we got in a tunnel, and then we kind of had to.
We were in it.
I needed you to clear me right hard. Yeah. Had a run coming. It wasn't. We made it work.
But man, like the Bills game was everything that I thought it would be. So we landed 3 hours before kickoff, right?
Yeah. 5:15-ish.
Yeah, 5:15 for an 8:15 kickoff Thursday night football, and we just, like with Scott picking us up, we just hit the ground running. He was ready, like Red Bulls, to rip.
Snacks, waters, watermelon. Yep, 2 of them. One of them we forgot, but
yeah.
Yeah, our original plan was to Uber to the stadium, and I'm glad we didn't roll with that because we wouldn't have even made the game. I don't even
think so.
Yeah, I don't even know if we could have gotten an Uber because they would have probably dropped us off a mile outside the track. Or the stadium.
We're leaving that in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Scott with Try It distributing up there with AB, that was a great. It was a great trip. I'm glad that we did that. Josh Allen, farm kid, a friend of the page here on Like a Farmer. Pretty cool to cross paths at his, sporting event. Watch him go beat the Dolphins. I'm a Dolphins fan. Grew up a Dolphins fan. But if there's a farm kid playing football, I'm going to root for the farm kid.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of people upset. A lot of Dolphins fans that are upset.
That's fine. One, it's easy to jump off the Dolphins bandwagon right now, and I know I'll probably catch crap for that. But when there's a reason, like the kid comes from ag, he's star quarterback, I'm going to follow that guy anywhere. I'm enough of a casual fan to follow a player versus stay with a team. So if he doesn't play for the Bills, I'm definitely not a fan of the Bills moving forward. What do you think of being inside the suite?
It was nice.
I want to be outside next time.
Yeah, you couldn't hear the crowd. I think that was our big thing. I think those seats are awesome if you're going there for like a winter game when it's minus 15 out, but it was 60, 65?
Yeah.
Something like that. It was really nice.
Yeah.
I think they said it was like the warmest like early season game in a while. So yeah, it was fun. And then you had the ketchup spray. Can't leave that out. Pinto Rons.
I did not, like social media and like videos online did not do it justice for what that was. So for those that don't know, Pinto Rons is a tailgate. He's a living legend up there in Buffalo, and they got me up on top of a van. Amazon Prime had the game, and they came live to the tailgate where TV did make it a little clunky trying to like actually perform the squirting of the ketchup and mustard, but I squirted a whole bottle of Topps ketchup right on Pinto Ron's forehead, and he had his hamburger patty and bun just ready for it. So it was awesome. We should have been there earlier, honestly. Yeah, he would have gotten a slice of pizza and something to do with a bowling ball shot. Yeah. So I don't think he missed out. I stuck with the Busch Light. Yeah. Yeah. Now there's a lot of people that were in your mentions and even talking to us after that were like Bills fans, and that's like a bucket list thing. You get to go and squirt the ketchup. So, and you and I were just like, yeah, cool. Like, we saw some friendly faces in the crowd of the tailgate. Yep. The Dillners. We were calling their name. Yep. They were not listening. We were trying. I could spot that hat. Yeah, anywhere. And he has multiple colors too. Yes. Yeah. But it's the same style. Yep. Yeah. I don't know when he started that style, but it's his style. It is. It works. So, him and Blaze. Yep. They could not hear us. No. We tried. There's a lot. I mean, there was a sea of people. Yeah. There. Hundreds, almost 1,000 probably. 500, I bet, at least. Well, way to cut me down there. Not 1,000. Not 1,000. Hey, from on top of it felt like it. Yeah. I mean, if you count the people that are on, the TV. Okay. Then right. Anyway, we did wrap up with a Bills win. Shook Josh's hand after the race quick on the way out. And after the game. Yeah, after the game. You said race. Did I? Yes. No. Oh, no. Well, that's what a night in Buffalo will do to you. Yes. We got out of there. We caught a flight back to New Hampshire Friday morning, back into Boston, where I then got us lost. And look, we qualified 8th. We finished 9th. For a New Hampshire race, that sounds really calm, but it was anything but. I mean, we went backwards right away. It was actually pretty cool to see my teammate SVG drive by me on lap 2 and drive up into the top 5. That was really cool to see, and I was wishing my car handled like his. We did the tire test there with Goodyear, remember, for Chevy, so the one car did. So we went our direction we found in the test. The 88 went a different direction, just looking, and they were better. So kudos to them, and continuing to evolve. Definitely the best oval race I've ever seen Shane from a speed perspective. I think Brad wrecked him at the end of it. I think that Brad tried to go bottom of 5 or 4 wide or 5 wide and hit the inside wall and bounced up into him. So I don't put that on Shane. I feel like Brad was the one that hit the wall, which is crazy to think we're racing that low, but that's how wide the track is now. And we actually widened out above the 3rd lane into the 4th, like the old asphalt. So I thought that the racing was great from what I saw. Like I didn't really get aero tight behind people. I did a little bit, but not like normal. So that was nice.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a sleeper for crazy restarts because the amount of like different lanes you can go to and cutting up of the wall, the photographers can go like right up on that wall on the exited too. So I was trying to catch you going right up by me, and you were typically on the top of 3 or 4 most of the time I was out there. So
yeah, I didn't run the very bottom much. Some guys did, but I had to run a little bit higher, especially later in the race. So we just kept freeing our car up, getting wedge out of it. And I feel like if we would have started, of course, how we ended the race, we'd have started the race there, it would have been better. We at least could have like maintained track position early, but we tanked hard and then had to fight back. So and would really fall off at the ends of runs. So I couldn't keep the rear tires on it at all on drive. So a lot of wheel spin, which is cool to say in a cup car. Okay, I'll just be honest. It's good to say we've got wheel spin, and I definitely had that in 3rd gear coming off the corner. So yeah, Blaney wins. It was going to be a Penske car. I mean, we could all tell that really early on that they were strong. I didn't catch it in the test. But Monday morning after the race, my team says they saw it, but of course they didn't tell me that ahead of time.
Yeah, the amount of times Josh Berry would spin out and drive through the field, like every time I look, I'm like, well, his day's done. I'm like, nope, he's passing Ross again.
Yeah. Yes, I'm right here in 13th, Josh. Yep. Just going by. I'm going to try to get to 9th. You go try to win. But yeah, cool for Ryan. Root for him, a buddy of, we kind of came up through the truck series together, and want to beat him, but cool to see him win. So, all right. So before I answer some of your Ask Ross Anything questions, and before we talk about Kansas, I spent some time with Mike Catlin at Smith's Country Cheese, where we talk about the cheese making process from milking the cow to eating the cheese. So let's check that out. Hey guys, today we are boots on the ground in Winchendon, Massachusetts with Mike Catlin, where him and his brother run Smith Country Cheese. Thanks for having us, Mike.
No, it's a pleasure. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, did I say all that right? Did I pronounce the town name right?
You did. You could call it Winchentucky, but we call it Winchendon.
Winchendon. All right. Well, tell me about how y'all are here. You and your brother, both of your families are a part of this operation. Tell me a little bit about how y'all got started here.
Okay. Well, we both grew up in Ashburnham, which is the next town over. My brother and I had always kind of joked about, hey, when we get older, let's go into business together. And let's call it about 12 years ago, we found out that Dave Smith, the original owner, was looking to sell the farm. My brother, he called Dave Smith, and he was like, sure, come out. Let's see what it's all about. And so he was working in Boston. He worked for the Department of Justice and came out with his wife, Allie, and they made cheese one day. And we're like, okay, this isn't too bad. But it's an all-day process. They got here at, 5:30 in the morning, brought the fresh milk up, made cheese all day, left around 5:30 in the afternoon. And we're like, okay, we can do this, but this is going to be, interesting. So he called my wife and I. We were living in Atlanta at the time, and said, hey, we have this cool opportunity. I think we can turn this place around and make it really profitable because, you know, he was 77 years old. He's still alive now, but he was 77 at the time, and, you know, didn't have any internet presence, wasn't used to doing anything on computers, and we felt like we could really modernize and take Smith's to the next level.
I'll be honest, I feel like if I'd spend a day making cheese, that'd make me want to do it less. But for y'all, they were sold on it, and they convinced y'all to come back up and look at it too?
They really sold us on the opportunity to really grow it and modernize it, you know, as much as you can, because it is a farmstead cheese process. Farmstead meaning the milk comes from our cows and our cows only, so we know exactly what they're fed, how they're treated. You know, we really love the cows, and happy cows make good milk.
What's something about the cows that you didn't know when you got in that you've learned now? Like did you know about cows? Or?
I knew nothing about cows.
Okay.
Never had been on a dairy farm before the whole process. I mean, once the process started, I came up a year early and worked for the original owner to learn the process down at the farm, milking, taking care of the cows, and making cheese. My wife makes the butter. Allie, which is my brother Jake's wife, you know, she helps a lot making cheese. Right now we have cheese makers, so we've kind of stepped away from that process and focused more on growing the business. What's something
that we don't know about the dairy industry, milk, cheese?
I never realized how much goes into it. I had a typical kind of, okay, just a farmer, you know, get up, milk the cows. But you have to learn how they eat. We have a nutritionist that comes out weekly. She walks around, studies what they eat, gives us a ration so we know exactly what's going into the cows to produce the, you know, the best quality milk we can. Where there's, in regards to breeding, I got booklets and pamphlets and courses we've taken on how to breed cows, what we want to look for, whether we're breeding for, you know, better udders or cheese production, which is what, you know, everything we do, not just milk, but it's like which casein you want to breed for so that your protein is better for producing cheese, or, you know, that type of stuff.
Okay.
So there's way more that goes into it than I ever thought, and I'm learning new stuff every day.
In the current cattle market, how do you not just sell all your cattle? It's pretty lucrative right now, right?
Yeah, we definitely thought about it, but we're not raising them for beef, so dairy cows are very lean because we don't want big fat cows. We want them to have fat in their diets, but we want it to come out in the milk and not get stored on their bodies. So it's a totally different meat when you eat it. You know, you can really, you know, you can see it. There's not as much marbling and all that.
Okay.
But we do sell, you know, the cull cows that we cull. We get them processed at a slaughterhouse right nearby, another local business, and we sell it at farmers markets and things like that. And people like it because it is a lean cut. So if you like a leaner cut, it's a great product.
Well, man, I'm kind of ready to get my hands dirty a little bit. But before we go milk some cows and see some cheese action, George Boot does want to say thank you for what you do. They appreciate your work, so do we.
Excellent.
Now, I'm gonna just go ahead and say, let's like keep these clean. You don't have to put them on today.
Okay.
These will be your nice boots.
My nice boots, not my...
Looking down at your boots, they go through it. So these Georgia boots will get put to work one day, but let's keep them clean today.
Wow. As a farmer, I always appreciate good boots, so thank you very much.
All right, man, well, let's go check it out.
Awesome, excellent.
So this is the milking parlor.
Yeah, this is the milking parlor. We have a double 6, and so that means we do 6 cows on each side. They come in. I'll open the gates in a minute, and we'll have the group come in, and you can check out the milk.
I will wait on you to tell me what to do.
All right, excellent. Okay. As you can see, they want to get milked. Almost everything in here is air powered, and you can hear the vacuum in the background. First, I'm going to grab the teat dip, which is iodine, so it's going to disinfect it.
Okay.
Basically, I'm just giving it a little squeeze, gets the iodine in the cup, and dip. He's a natural. So now that they're disinfected, it's just cleaning it all off, making sure there's no speckles of manure or anything.
You always been a fanny pack guy, or just when it came to this?
Just when it came to this. So with the machines, the green button turns on the vacuum. And then you start to see what we're producing. So once we get them all lined up, then you just keep tracking. You know, the old way you could try on this, she's an old one and she's ready to go.
All right. So this is how they would have done it.
This is how they would have done it, yeah.
A long time ago.
A long time. Because this parlor's been around since '85. So the average Holstein in our herd is producing about 70 pounds of milk a day. So filling about 2 of those buckets up.
I can tell you, the good old days are now.
They're also bred to not have the same size teats as before, because they were much bigger, making it much easier for your hand to get a hold of.
Yeah, this is not easy. That's about all the hand milking I think we need to do. I think both of us are going to have a better time.
Kind of like a race car, you know? You listen to the sound,
that's a
little
V8.
adjustments are made.
That's a V8 down there.
Yeah. Oh, we do have a couple cows that produce up over 120 pounds of milk a day. Yeah. So those are the V8s. The original farmer was all about zero waste, and we've continued that. So this is the whey. So when they take the milk and they turn it into curds and whey, the curds is what you keep. The whey gets pumped back into here. And so this afternoon, I'll bring that back down to the farm, and we have a tank, and the cows will drink it. So this is our big tank. This one holds 12,000 pounds of milk. They're doing a small vat today. So this is only 5,000 pounds. Chris, what are you making today?
Garlic Gouda.
So they're making garlic Gouda today.
500 pounds of it.
Yep. So there's hot water circulating around the edges of the vat. He's got a temperature probe, so he'll keep track of it. And when it gets up to temp, they'll put the rennet in, and that separates the curds and the whey. And then he'll take that metal thing there, it's called a cheese harp, and so it'll cut the curds. Be like little pea-sized curds. They'll stir it up, cook it some more, and then drain the whey out. And then they'll mix in the garlic, and then they'll form it into the white Gouda forms.
How long is this cheese is it good for then? Like, what's its shelf life?
The shelf life is long. It all depends on kind of how you take care of it and age it, because you can make aged Gouda and it will last a long time.
Yeah.
The garlic Gouda that he's making probably has about a 6 to 8 month shelf life, because Gouda, you want it kind of creamy and soft. You don't really want a pungent, like a sharp cheddar flavor to it.
Right.
So you want it more fresh.
Okay.
All of our milk, all of our cheese is made with raw milk. So by state law, you have to age it for 60 days. So it ages for 60 days in an aging room before we can sell it.
Do y'all ship?
Yep, we ship
online. Thank you.
Ship online.
Yep.
We've shipped to every state, even Alaska and Hawaii.
Yep.
So yeah, these are all the different varieties. So we have Gouda, whether it's smoked or ghost pepper if you like spicy, chipotle, rubbed in everything bagel. The cheesemaker, they were making garlic Gouda today. Different flavors of Havarti, cheddar, cheese sticks, and farmer's cheese, and then we make a spread with our Gouda. There you go. Public schools that buy them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh yeah. They didn't give us this when I was in school.
Big thanks to Mike Catlin, Smith's Country Cheese, and Georgia Boot. Now let's answer some of your Ask Ross Anything questions. Make sure to keep submitting your questions that I may or may not answer to the comment section of our full-length episodes on YouTube. And this week, first one up is the Ace Steeler 101, and they say, "Hey Ross, given Austin Cindric is competing in supercars later this year in Adelaide, could you see yourself challenging your mindset in an international series like supercars?" Yes, I could see it. I've told Shane that I want to go down there and one, just see where he's from in New Zealand. I want to go to Australia because I don't know the difference. And Shane kind of laughs at me every time, but I really don't. So I want to go see it. And then if there was a race car, sure, put me in the right seat, make me shift with my left hand. It's not going to be pretty first time, but yeah, I'd like to at least drive a car and go from there. So I'll be watching when Austin goes. That'll be cool. Next up is Nathaniel Moore, 3199. And he asked if you had to race any car on any track, what would that combo be? I think I would like to race either on like current Darlington or Darlington of old when it was worn out before they repaved it. Like in an old state of Darlington along it's like life, but a Wood Brothers car that David Pearson drove. Like just one of the big cars that you're just sitting on like a big open seat. Yeah. Maybe not old enough where I could like look through the trap door and see the right front tire. Like maybe that old, but like that's like the age reference is like old car and old track at Darlington. But probably current Darlington and just one of those old cars. That would be pretty cool. And I would want the Woods to crew it for me. All right, last one. Due South 901 Logistics 4. Never been a fan of yours, but slowly turning that way. Hardworking, grit, grind type myself, so love seeing a blue-collar guy get it done. Well, I don't see a question mark there. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Dad's farm, for as long as I can remember, has been JDI, which means just do it. And that's kind of the mentality Chad and I have, my brother, and kind of what I try to make sure that I surround myself with people that have that same mentality. So, yeah, anybody out there that gets up and just goes to work, sometimes you don't really see the end goal yet. Like the result isn't clear, but you know why you're doing it, and there's a reason. So just all get up and go to work. We usually tend to be pretty lucky if we do that. I feel like I do, and my group does. So yeah, appreciate that. Welcome to the fan club. All right, let's set the table for Kansas, Ben.
I love going to Kansas, actually.
Yeah,
yeah.
You don't have to stay where we stay, do you?
I think we are actually staying at Trackhouse's hotel this year.
I'm so sorry.
I think it's nice. I've been there a couple times. Is it actually?
It's tough.
Yeah.
There's gates involved.
Oh, really?
And like people are walking in the gates as you're leaving that don't look like they should be walking. I don't know. It's a good section down by the river.
Yep.
Head downstream.
If you stay closer to if you stay in downtown, you're having to deal with parking ramps, and we usually just valet because they're like, oh, well, you can park in the one that's like 3 blocks down the road, and then by the time, I mean, it's essentially the same price to valet, so we just valet. You'd probably love to hear that.
I don't valet. You sound like Philip.
Oh, he's the one that usually does.
He's the one saying just valet. Yeah, look, hey, y'all, it's your car. Do whatever you want with it.
Thanks.
Just put it on the expense report.
We do.
Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, look, we won there last fall. That was a big time.
That was fun. Yeah.
We've won a truck race there. That was my first win in the truck series. Common denominator, crew chief named Phil Gould on the truck, Phil Surgeon on the cup car. So we would like to do that again if possible. But just want to be fast. And that's what we had last year. We were fast and executed a good race and lined up on the front row for the final restart and went and won the race. So at minus 12 to the cut line, I mean, you have to run good. We were 12th in both stages at New Hampshire, 9th at the end. I went into this thinking 13th was enough, but I don't think I really accounted for stage points enough. So you've got to get a couple. So 13th then rolls up into like the lower top 10. I think we need, if we're going to like transfer. But I still think top 10 efforts, that's a step forward from where we were in the summer. So we did not run there in the spring. We were in the teens all day, high teens really. I think we finished 18th. So need more, definitely need more.
Yeah, it's hard when everybody else is going out there getting stage points. If it's kind of split, you can get away with it in the beginning, but just go get stage points. That's easy.
It's split all right. Like 8th and forward got a lot of points, and 9th, all of us like 9th through 12th did not.
Yeah,
so,
the 2311 cars were not good. They struggled. They were
brake issues, I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shouldn't say that, but if it was brake issues, glad we didn't have that. So yeah, I saw him right behind me. Daryl lined up right behind me a couple times, thought he would like drive underneath me or drive past me, and it never did. So yeah, a lot of throttle, a lot of commitment in qualifying. This is one of the ones, depending on the weather, the like couple degrees of ambient and track temp will be a big difference in how much throttle we carry. So yeah, it's like almost wide open. It has been wide open at certain times if the weather's right. Seems like it's going to not be too hot, so there's a chance. Just know that Saturday I will be contemplating life as I'm getting ready to qualify.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might stretch before I get in the car.
When don't you stretch before getting in the car?
A lot of times before like qualifying.
Yeah, if you're in a rush.
Yeah.
Well, if you sit there at the pit box until you're like 4 cars away.
Yeah, we're trying to talk through every detail of every car going. Yeah. And then I look down and I'm like, guys, I have to go. And my engineers are saying, no, look at this one more thing. And I just have to walk away. Michael will hold me there. I'm like, no, I get down there and the road crew's like getting ready to put squeaks in. So.
No iPad for you while you're walking.
I've quit carrying it.
Yeah.
I might lose it.
Yeah. Or drop it and shatter the screen, and
I've done all that.
Adds one more thing.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for episode 17 of Ag to Asphalt, presented by LEVRACK and powered by Ag America Media. Be sure to tune into Kansas this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on USA Network. And if you're coming to the track this weekend, I'll be at my merch hauler from 9:25 to 9:55 a.m. and the KDOT booth in the fan zone from 10 to 11 a.m. on Sunday. Be sure to subscribe to Like a Farmer on YouTube, where new episodes drop every other Thursday. Leave a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and we'll see you in the next episode.